Alrighty guys, welcome. What a day. What a day. Going to be a crazy session by the looks of things. Obviously gold is just dumped more than 200 pips. Pre-stream. Nonetheless guys, let's see as always what we can do, what we can come up with moving forward here today. If you could guys, hit the like button. Once again, if you could say g'day, just help me out. If you could say hello, it'd be much appreciated. And guys, let's get this show on the road. Let me cool the music a bit. Alrighty guys, as always, a good morning, good afternoon, and very good evening, no matter where you are around this wide world on this crazy day. So looks like Trump may be the victor. That is the way it's heading. The few different outlets I've been following, but by the looks of it, obviously looks like he will be the victor. So my preference, but either way, it doesn't really make that much a difference, to be honest. But maybe off the back of that, hence the reason for the current gold dump. Obviously, Trump is an advocate of a strong currency, so national currency, and he also wants to keep gold as the reserve world currency. So there you go. So perhaps off the back of that. But anyway, guys, appreciate you for joining. And as always, we're going to have a look at both GJ and gold, focused on primarily GJ and gold, likely to be GJ today, but we will have a look at gold as well, see what we can come up with, and also GCAD. Guys, if you could hit the like button, do say good day, ask questions if you have any. Feel free to send in some charts. It'd be nice to get a chart or two every now and again. Without further ado, guys, let's take a look. First of all, what have we got schedule wise today? So obviously later, that's Thursday, one day ahead. So as far as today, nothing. Well, obviously it's the election still being decided, but we know the likely result. I mean, aside from that, there's nothing really that should have much of an impact, but we obviously need to be aware of what is potentially coming out of the US right now for any of the majors and trading gold. But anyway, guys, otherwise we're all good. So let's start with the analysis, and let's start with GJ. And as always, let's start in the weekly time frame. So current weekly is forming bullish, has a higher low to the previous, obviously an inside bar candle though, not broken a high of the previous. Once again, as I mentioned at the beginning of the week, that sort of candle formation is a potential sign of either continuation, just a pause in price action, or a potential reversal. So if we were to break the high, I feel there's a high probability we would continue to the upside. Would break the low, then there's a good chance of coming back down a little bit further to the support, just below at 195 flat. It's this week bullish on the weekly. Daily, we've got structure wise still technically bullish. We've also got counter probability wise to the upside. So currently pulling back, but we'll see what level we're pulling back to within the current daily candle. Is a level of support. We want to see that support hold, and we could potentially look for options to buy it back up towards the current daily candle's high. We've got the weekly as bullish, we've got the daily as bullish with the counter probabilities to the upside. We got the 4-hour structure as technically bearish, and what we can see on the 4-hour too, we're right up in this against this previous resistance, which we previously rejected on the last candle, the previous candle. We have broken low of that previous candle, we're now pulling back up. So seeing we've broken low, really not much of a need for us to pull back up and break our own high. If we did, high probability we would potentially continue further and maybe fill that wick on the previous candle. So we are technically bearish at resistance. Now I'm gonna mark in the support for the time being. As far as resistance, I will mark it in, actually I'll mark it in just now, but I will be adjusting it accordingly. Not going to leave it that deep. So we know we're technically bearish at the resistance. I want to just mark in this level as well and just see what we've got in the 30. Alright, so it sort of lines up with the most recent support. Alright, so I'll just get rid of that. What we can see now is, I'm just going to adjust this to the most recent support. Alright, so looking at GJ and the M30, structurally we are bullish. We have flipped, closed above this swing point here to the left. So therefore the bias now is technically bullish. We've got the weekly, daily, and the M30 being bullish. 4-hour being, in time frame is right now technically bearish. We have pulled back to form support, pretty much tapping into this resistance here to the left hand side, and within it we've formed a minor resistance from the support. So I'm just going to mark in, let me look at 15. Yeah, I'm going to leave it at that for the 30-minute zone. Alright, what I really would like to see at this point is a bullish engulfing candle, and that could have been enough to suggest that we may be ready to head back up towards the current daily candle's high. You can see right here though, we've got a bit of minor resistance on the M15 time frame, so I'm going to mark that in, and I'm going to distinguish that by coloring in aqua. That represents the 15-minute zones, which are the least significant, and the darker blue obviously represents the 30-minute and the 4-hour zones that are grey, the high time frame, which are the most significant. So what we can see is on the recent rejection of that 4-hour resistance, we have created another resistance. We've created a low, and we've created a resistance, create a lower low. We've tapped back into that resistance. So for me right now, do we have the margin above it if we were to close above? And the answer is yes, but it just depends how far above we do close. So if we were to close above 198.50, lines up the psychological round number, then I would look for a potential buy option and take it back up towards the current daily candle's high. It's going to be in line with the 30-minute structure as well. It's going to be in line with our overall bias. So that would be the buy option for me on GJ. Within the current range, we're likely not going to have the the margin. It's a bit choppy right now. Obviously, it's printing candles. I mean, long wicks in either direction makes it very difficult. What I probably look for is if we were to, once again, seeing we're just consolidating right now, might even on the 15 as well. If we were to start to pop below this support, retest it, and begin to pull away, there could be potential options below the low of this current support. So want to see closures definitely below that level, and the entries will likely come below that 197.90 sort of level. So that would be the potential sell option right now on GJ. At the moment, we just need it to break out of this minor range of about, it's about 40 pips or so, because there is, in my opinion, no real trade option within it just now. So that is what I'm currently seeing on GJ. Obviously, if we do pop above the high, going to be potential options upon continuation. We reject the high, there's going to be options to sell it as well. So we put that in. Sells, buys above, and going to be also further options if price did just come back down to this support. Respect it. We're going to be still bullish on the 30-minute time frame. That was to be the case, I would also look for my catalyst within price action for potential buy options. So that is GJ. Hopefully that made some sense, and if it did, make sure to hit the like button, and let me have a look at this thing. That is gold. Wow. Just doing well, I just turned the computer on actually after having myself some dinner prior to the stream, to see this candle was probably about 3/4 of the way down, thinking, oh, something's going on here. It must be to do with what I thought would be maybe they've announced that Trump is the winner of the election. It appears he will be, and gold is perhaps dumping off the back of that. So let's look at it now on the weekly. So once again, this could suggest potential for a bit of a further pullback. And again, for me, it doesn't mean I'm all of a sudden that's the end of the world on gold. We're done for. It's going to now sink back down to, you know, below 2K or whatever. Look, it could do so, but I doubt it. I think this could be a healthy pullback, if anything. What we do have is counter probabilities now, along with the candle that is forming strong bearish on the weekly time frame. So based off that, what I can do is look to see what levels we have previously created some support and resistance at within this candle, and look for price to potentially pull back to retest those levels, or options to perhaps sell it back down, or if we break above it, pop above it, close above it on my chosen time frame, that being the 30 and maybe the 15, we provide options for buys to take it back up. Daily structure, we still remain bullish as well. To me, this is just one big impulse from these lows here around that 2600 flat all the way up to the highs. So therefore, anything between is technically bullish in structure, but once again, counter probabilities to the downside. And we have recently just broken the support as well. So based off that, potential for gold to come down to 2686 roughly, his previous level of price action resistance here to the left hand side, the highs. That could be a potential destination if it continues to the downside right now. So the 4 hour just closed on this particular broker, Forex.com, and look at that for a strong closure. That is a very, very strong closure. So all the momentum right now is to the downside. It's going to be difficult to look for the buys when you're trading at such strong momentum. So we are technically now, we have now confirmed we are bearish in the 4 hour. So therefore, we have the weekly as bearish, we've got daily as bullish, and we've got the 4 hour structure as bearish, coupled with the M30. So my actual bias is now has flipped bearish. Once again, I'm a bull personally on gold. I still think it's a massive bull trend, but trading wise right now, my bias is flipped to look for the sells. But seeing we are at that 4 hour support, it's not going to be easy. Going to be easy at all to just sell it. So I'm really needing this up too, to be honest. That's what I want to see on gold just now. Options are, I'm going to look to the left to see potentially where we could pull back to and form a resistance. Now we've got a level here not too far above the support, which probably is less preferable because we likely won't have the margin. Just gonna adjust this zone a little bit, guys, so it's not so so big. It doesn't look very good aesthetically. So we've got a zone here at 27.17. That is one potential level that price could pull back to and reject, and could look for a sell option below that point if it was to reject. So that is one level. Now, further level, we've got a little bit higher up here, around that 27.25. But looks like, hold on, let me just change the colors. Yeah, if we were to use a line chart as well, you can see it would tap into this level a couple of times as well. So I would say that would be a next level I'd look for a potential pullback to for the sell options. So these are the sell options, guys, and if we do pull back, what I'd like to see is price pull back to grab some liquidity from one of these zones prior to looking for continuation sells. But below the low, we do have some clean traffic, so I would definitely, so long as we have a bit of a pullback, grab some more liquidity within price this current dump before we continue. Then I would look for the potential sell below the current daily low. Now, the buy options, seeing we are in a 4-hour support, what I like to see is within the new 4-hour candles just open, I want to see price maybe tap into this resistance, reject, come back down, create a little bit of structure within this level and start to pop above that minor resistance. And that point there, I can or will likely look for a potential buy option to take it back up. So a lot of water to go under the bridge before that eventuates. So at the moment, I'm not going to bother looking for putting any buys in, but I'm not ruling them out just yet. So that is what I want to see on gold at the moment, looking for the pullback for sells. And again, big sell off though, so we just need to wait patiently. Yeah, hopefully that makes sense, and let's make some dollars. That would be nice, wouldn't it? All right, quickly onto GCAD. GCAD had a little bit of trouble with finding levels to get involved. I just did the analysis for the members group, and it's quite evident on this high time frame. It is just stuck in a very nasty area of price action. Current weekly, respecting the low of the previous, not broken high, obviously. It is forming bearish. So call that strong bearish daily. Structure wise is still bearish, and we've had obviously a big sell off today, broken low the previous. And if we were to use a trend line, not that I do, we could, I mean, you can visually see it. I'm gonna actually use the trend line, but you can visually see it. It's creating some higher lows, so potentially beginning to break below that level now. Interesting to see if it does actually close below it onto the 4-hour time frame, and we can see that is also technically bearish. So nothing has changed in regards to the bias itself. The issue is for the sells, we are currently at a strong level of support, so it's not going to be easy selling into it. All right, M30 is bearish. What I would be doing is marking a zone just here. And if we did close above that level, seeing we're at a 4-hour support, and if we bounced off it, like to see a little bit of a structure form, so approach the highs, maybe a little bit of a pullback, and then only for price to pop above it, close above it. If that was to be the case, I may entertain a potential buy, just based off where we're at on the chart. I'd rather, you know, a bit late for the sells personally, if it does give the option. Once again, this is the resistance formed within the current daily candle on the way down. If we were to continue bearish, any pullbacks should be met with further resistance, and we'll be likely to hit back down, so I can add that in as well. But if that's not to be the case and we pop above that resistance, then it's a high probability, logically, that we're going to come up to the next level of previous support slash resistance. So that's what that would be based on. As far as below, yeah, it's a bit of a tricky one. Not a great deal of margin. We'll consider it, but yeah, doubtful. Yeah, very doubtful. We've got 15-minute support there, so you could really just leave that zone in, to be honest, as it was before. So hopefully that all makes sense, guys. So the focus, we'll see. Nothing just yet. We'll see. We'll just keep an eye. Meantime, guys, as always, who we got here today? Thank you to everyone who is getting involved in the chat. Once again, it really helps me out, guys. It gets the algorithm ticking over, and YouTube thinks my content must be engaging for you guys if you do get the chat rate up. So would greatly appreciate it, would muchly appreciate it if you could say g'day. Steve Dean, how are you, brother? Dace, good morning to you. Aleph, good morning, my friend. Great to have you on stream as per usual. Franco, hope you're feeling better. I hope your finger's better too, my friend. Suman, good morning. Great to have you back. Nalisto as well. I haven't seen you in the chat for a while, but good to have you on stream. Beats, as always, my friend. And Rick, two of the main guys in the chat. Welcome. Mohammed, good to have you back on stream. And Luke, hope you're well, brother. Good afternoon to you. Good evening to you, my friend. So, what is being said? So the belief is that Republicans in the House will maintain their majority. But have they conceded yet? Bitcoin, that's interesting. Bitcoin is breaking all-time highs. It has broken and created a new all-time high. That could be off the back of the fact that Trump has come out to endorse Bitcoin prior to the election. So hence why I feel Bitcoin, even Nasdaq's at tech stocks in Nasdaq, is that approaching its all-time high yet again. It is. So big up for all the tech stocks and obviously crypto, Bitcoin. Gold dumped off the back of it. Is it anything other than the election that could have caused it to dump a little bit? It's all about the election by the looks of it. Don't forget, guys, we have FOMC, and forecast is for the prediction is for a rate cut of 25 basis points. Heard a lot suggest that it won't be changed this time, but yeah, we'll see. Members, I will send you a Zoom link just now. There you go, that link is sent. Good to see some of you up and about early. I know Bill took a very nice trade on EU. Good to see. He secured some profit already. Yeah, so I'm not too sure what to expect of today, guys, with in regards to gold anyway. But GJ with the options right now, it just needs to break and close either above or below, and I'll look to play it based off that. Here's the majors have also gone south today. I'm assuming off the back of the election news. EU, AU, GU, they've all really felt the brunt of it. How's that for a nasty chart? Yeah, we're not trading EJ, guys. So how are we, guys? How are things? How's the week gone? Have you is anyone currently running any trades? If you are, so let me know. Sean, good day to you. All good, mate. All good. Had a very busy afternoon. Stuck in traffic for over an hour before. Wasn't much fun. No gym today, so that's not great. I'll hopefully be able to make it tomorrow. All good. Yeah, gold is going to be really tricky. Look at these candles, how much volume is in candles printing right now. 170 pips in this one. It's like could potentially, well, we still got 16 minutes left, so it could do anything. But it could retrace a little bit further. Yeah, it's going to be difficult looking for a buy just now. We'll just see what happens though. Maybe keep an eye on at the 15 minute. If the next 15 closes a weak bearish candle, without creating a massive long wick, then that may be an option. Just maybe, but we'll see.
Morning.
Good morning, Roberta. Great to have you on stream and in the team. Hope you're well. How's things?
Good. Oh, you know, Trump has a lead. Let's hope it's just what they call the red mirage.
I think he's I think it's a cakewalk by the sounds of it. So
it's a little bit too fucking scary ahead.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I think he's well ahead, isn't he? So it's just a matter of, I think, them actually announcing it. But I mean, made it difficult.
there's always what they call a red mirage at the beginning because the smaller states, they count them faster.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So
yeah, obviously.
It always is going to appear that the Republicans are ahead. It's just that what's been posted so far looks like, you know, it's almost like a 30% lead, not like a 10. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know enough about that phenomena called the red mirage to know what sort of, you know, catch up has ever been made before.
It looks almost insurmountable though at the moment, doesn't it? Just from what you're seeing on the screen, and it's just basically all red. So
yeah, it's a bit fucking scary.
It is big, full control of the White House by the looks of it. So it's going to be interesting times trading. Definitely trading gold is going to be very interesting. Got to definitely have your finger on the pulse. And I would suggest to anyone who's not following Trump on Twitter, I would really recommend doing so, because when he speaks, things move. So it's going to make for some interesting times. Why is that not? Anyway. So we can see right now GJ is just consulting. So not much going on with GJ. I'll do this again. Okay. Yeah, so personally I didn't trade NY yesterday. I gave it a miss. And it will be a little bit difficult, I feel, for the next day or so. Again, especially on gold. GJ is a different story. But just be very careful trading the majors, trading gold. I mean, silver obviously also took a bit of a dump. Silver moves a lot harder than gold does. It doesn't take as much to move silver, as it's not as highly as liquid as gold. There's not as much trade volume. All right, let's have a look at this chart from Mr. Phil on the members. GU 2-hour chart, looking for a pullback. The Phil trades off the 2-hour and 1-hour usually as his confirmations, and seems to be a very competent trader. So again, it just follows the plan, follows his rules, and executes accordingly. And that's all we can do as traders. But that's his plan on GU. Let me quickly look at it on my side of things. All right, GU, a big sell-off as well off the back of, well, like everything else, assuming off the back of the election. So looking at it starting on the weekly, and we are now flip bearish. We've broken the high of the previous candle. So seeing now we've broken the high of that candle, we are coming down towards the previous candle's low. That suggests to me that perhaps we'll grab some liquidity from the upside, and if we do break the low, I feel it's a high probability at that point there we could potentially come back down to the next support. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen all by the end of this week, but it is a realistic target. Lines up with some resistance here to the left. I feel that could be eventually a likely destination around at 127.50 on GU. Marvy, good morning to you, mate. Daily structure is bearish as well, and you've got a... Or is it bearish? Oh, it is just technically bearish. Rejection of that resistance to the left hand side, which lines up with some support here. And we've, wow, look at the strength of the current candle, very strong bearish candle. So once again, we are at a support, but based off that, what I'm likely to look for is potential pullbacks within the current candle, or levels that we could reject for options to look for continuation sell, or sells to take back down to the low. All our structure is also, it's now back bearish, so the bias is going to be to the downside. Now once again, we're out of 4-hour support, so below it there isn't a great deal of margin as well. It's going to be difficult trying to sell GU right now based off where we're at. So what I'm going to look for is wherever we most recently formed on the move to the downside, impulse led to the downside, wherever we recently formed a resistance. This is the most recent level that we have formed a bit of a resistance at. So therefore, like I mentioned before on, I think it was gold, if we were to continue bearish, any pullback to previous level of support / resistance should be once again met by further resistance, and we could potentially look to take it back down towards the current daily candle's low. However, if price was to start to pop above that resistance, then we know that point there, bouncing off the 4-hour support, that there's a high probability we'll come up to the next level, and that next level is pretty much this level here, right at 129.70 sort of level, and that would provide for some potential buy options above the most recent resistance formed just above the 4-hour support. I would wait for preferably a closure above that level. Seeing we are bearish in structure, we won't be flipping any structure at this point until we start to close above the resistance higher up around at 129.80. But I would still entertain the buys just based off the fact we're out of 4-hour support. So I'd rather look for the buy options irrespective of the structure. And it once again sells from a deeper pullback. That will be my opinion of GU. Is there further options below? Potentially, it's, yeah, a little bit choppy to the left here. Actually, no, it's actually quite clean. Take that back. So yeah, sells below low. Seeing right now, it is bringing in some buyers, so grabbing some more liquidity, creating a bit of a minor pullback potentially. So if we did approach the current daily low and lines up with last week's candle's low, like I said, that break off the previous weekly high could have just been a liquidity grab for us to, once we break the low of that candle, begin to head back down to the next level of 4-hour support. So it could be an option below for sells. I wouldn't necessarily be looking for the buys from this point, being in such a strong sell-off today, so I'd rather just wait for the option to sell it from higher up, or a more probable entry, in my opinion, on the buy side above that 129.27. Bartman, Trump gonna win officially soon? Looks to be the case. Goats, good day to you. Good afternoon. Good evening. Rick, look at the gold wick. Yeah, it's nuts. Wow, it's just retraced the whole move. Yeah, gold is going to be very tricky today. Let's see, the majority have hit the like button. Yeah, so it's likely going to be, again, likely going to be focusing on GJ, to be honest, guys. How did we go yesterday, guys? Anyone trade after the stream? Anyone trade in same way? Quite frankly, I would like to see gold pull back, trade deeper pull back. Wherever gold goes, little brother, little sister, silver tends to follow. So I'd really like for silver to pull back. Once again, so I was actually licking my chops when I saw it dump before, hoping that maybe it was going to lead to a little bit of a deeper correction, so I can get in some better prices on some investments, but it's like it's bouncing back, so not to be. Has taken the stage, so this is quite an interesting website, guys. Fast Bull. Tommy Jordan made me aware of this. So it's just another one where you can get updates on economic calendar and things like that, but it's more up to date with the news. Obviously, you can see it's constantly updating. You've got a live chat room as well. That's quite interesting. I mean, it's a good way to follow what's going on with that, the election. And just breaking news in general, so. Dawn, all good, mate, all good. Give a bit of an eye on GJ. Potentially we're breaking out this resistance. Now let's see, let's have a measure of what the stop loss could potentially be. It's a big one off the 30. What can we do based on the 15? It's also going to be quite a big one. So maybe it happens to be that today we need to lower lot sizes, guys, to adjust for a wider stop loss. But in order for this to be valid, it has to close below. Definitely has to close below because we're rejected multiple times. Then what I'd be looking for is the new count to create a significant upper wick. And that way I could at least be able to manage the trade if it did go against me. Instead of taking a full loss, I can begin to cut my position if it broke the entry candles high after triggering myself into a trade. So it has to close below in the next 25 seconds for me to consider it. And we need an upper wick and a decent one forming on the new candle. Rejection as it begins to break the low of the catalyst candle. There could be potential options for a sell on DJ. So what I suggest is check out what the low is in your broker, and it hasn't closed below. It's closed below the bodies. Not closed below the actual zone itself, not the lowest point of any bullish counter wick. So therefore, usually in this situation, what I prefer to see is the new candle open up and do this, where it at the start it opens up and it just pops straight down into the range below, and then I like seeing it pull back up, creates up a wick, tapping into that zone, rejecting, and then I self stop as it breaks zone lower. Yeah. So you want to be really anal with the rules, and in accordance to this trade, it's technically not valid. It had to have closed that little bit lower down. Like mentioned, otherwise I would prefer it to break and pull back. And now if it does actually begin to drop and break below the previous candle, and then only to pull back up and maybe retest its high around its high, I would then place the sell stop in anticipation that if it did reject once again below support, it likely would just grab some more liquidity from this consolidation, which is a build up of liquidity in the markets. And if we were to break our own low yet again, it'd be a high probability at that point we make the clean move down. So that maybe still could present, but if not, I'm not going to bother. Out of the 15 closing gold. Close the weak bullish candle. Yeah, I don't have quite confirmation to sell it. Now, one of the gentlemen I do coach as well, and I'm sure he won't mind me mentioning this, but of late he's been getting caught out taking some of these entries where it hasn't quite closed below or above the zone, but it's closed very close to it and got triggered in, only to see price pop back up. So, you know, that's why I have the rule. I want it to close below the lowest point of the bullish candle. That provides me a catalyst. That proves to me that we may be ready to leave this mess and trend to the downside with the clean candles to the left. If not, it suggests that maybe we're going to hold again. Maybe we'll just grab a little bit more liquidity from the downside and we could end up back right within the middle of this range and potentially back up towards the resistance. So therefore, rather be really strict. Not a great deal of margin, but possibly enough on GCAD. To Phil, morning to you, mate. Well done so far today. How's it going? All good, mate. All good. Just chilling, waiting patiently. No entry as of yet. Going to share the new TikTok page link. All good, mate. I haven't missed a thing. Just still chilling, still waiting patiently. Now, my next option potentially could be a limit order sell. This 15-minute closes weak bullish. Could be waiting for following candle to close below the resistance, below the support, sorry, and then potentially look at a limit order sell back at low of the bullish candle. Casey, good day to you. Good evening. Raise increased bets on a Bank of England rate cut, so that's obviously to come. That is tomorrow. There you go. This is, look at this. Japan government spokesperson will watch Forex moves with highest sense of urgency. So they've basically come out and said at any time they will intervene with the state of the yen, the currency. So that again is something that we need to be wary of, guys. That could at any moment they decide to flip the switch. We could have what we had, what was it, about a month ago or a couple months ago now, about, I think it was two or 3 months ago now, where the yen just all of a sudden massive strength in the yen, everything dumped against it. It's been a pretty slow but gradual pullback, so it's something we need to definitely be wary of. We have a new star in Elon. Didn't take him long to obviously seeing Elon endorses Trump to well, they're becoming very good friends all of a sudden. All right. GJ potentially coming back down straight below the previous candle. Here he is. Benny Chamberlain, long time, brother. It's been getting to wonder if you're still with us. Hope you're well, brother. Check your messages sometime when you get a chance. But yeah, well, yeah, all good, mate. All good. Yeah, I can imagine. But good to you're still about. So that's amazing. Yeah, just whenever you get a chance. All good, mate. All good. All right, so GJ has now broken its own low. And this is what I said I wanted to see. If it flips up a little bit higher, back towards the into this area of consolidation, back above this support, then I might set a sell stop below low. Because the amount of times it keeps pulling back suggests it's just grabbing some liquidity. If it broke its own low yet again, I feel it would be a high probability of it would eventually make the move down. So definitely something I would consider. Just going to keep an eye on price action for the time being. 15 is about to close. Let's have a look at the 5 minute. Yeah, we'll keep a little bit of an eye on it. If the record analysis is very calm for you today. Was it? But to be honest, I was in a real rush as well because I was really late home. All right, gold. 15 minute is rejecting. 5 minute closure below support. Oof, okay, forget it. It's a 100 pip stop, 90 over a 90 pip stop. Best of the 15. Yeah, I need a pause. I need a little bit of a pause. If I can get like a 40, 50 pip stop loss, I'll just go with lower lot sized, have a wider target. Seeing there is a lot of volume right now. Maybe that's something that could eventuate, but I'm not going to take it with a 90 pip stop loss, so forget that. GJ's actually closed back above on a 15. Okay, interesting. Very interesting. So now what I'm definitely going to be waiting for is an engulfing candle. If this candle closes, if not engulfing, if closes very close to the low of this candle, what we will be doing is finally closing below the support, the M30, leaving yet again a long wick to the upside. So once again, that would suggest that we'll likely grab some liquidity from around this 198, 20, 25 sort of level, which are psychological levels. And if we were to there, so if it was to look something like so, then on the following candle, bit of an upper wick, and that is a potential option. That is what I'll probably be likely waiting for on GJ. Gold is pulling back too far. It's going to be difficult today. Very, very difficult. This candle already has more than 45 pips in it. And it's 2 minutes old. It's a new 15-minute candle. So it has to pretty much reject from now. Any other option on JJ, once again, if it does begin to melt, so long as it doesn't hit target, so melt down to the support, could have a limit order as well if it doesn't go. Gonna let RFK Jr. go to it. Yeah, so it appears that Yeah, so yeah, by the sounds of it, he has been officially, it's been officially announced by the sounds of it. Trump is the new president, or once again, president. Interesting. It was my preference, so Luke, is there an option on GCAD? You're talking about the buys right now, aren't you? To be honest, for me, it's just in really heavy consolidation and it's in a big downtrend. Without a really strong confirmation, I'd be quite hesitant. I'd rather wait for the time being. We got 3-week rejections to the downside, but it's in a massive downtrend at the moment. And the current daily is falling very strong bearish, so I'd personally rather just wait and see if it does pull back and see how it reacts to the resistance. Yeah, to trust the buys I need a little bit more when it's in such a strong downtrend. A little bit of a staircase, like so, and then potentially again, let's focus on GJ. Rick, only donkeys vote for Democrats. Literally, how are they even donkeys? Are they even donkey as campaign logo? You know what I heard when I was driving before, which was quite amusing? I think it was like there has been something like 10 times officially that a dog has been named a mayor of a US state, or a mayor of a locality in America. The dog, that is, they couldn't do a worse job, put it this way, well, in my opinion. If I had a choice between my dog and the current prime minister, I'd definitely choose the dog. Our Aussie prime minister is just an absolute flog, absolute real flog. He's not a leader. He's not a leader at all. I think he makes this country a laughing stock, to be honest. Sure, Trump will just look at him, he wouldn't even know who he is. He would not even have any idea who he is. Probably take one look at him. Who's this flog? Who's this dickhead? Aussie politics. Luke, makes sense, all good. But at the moment, GJ is still respecting that support, so still no confirmation. 7.5 minutes remaining. Gold potentially rejecting. Now, again, we could take an entry just with a wider stop loss, really low lot size. That's the thing, you got to weigh up. Is it worth it? Because it wouldn't make any sense to go in with, let's just have a look at it. Let's quickly measure it. How wide would the stop loss be at the moment? You're talking about, once you count for spread, about 76 pips. Not really worth targeting 10 pips if your stop loss is 76 pips. So what I would suggest, if anyone wants to take the entry based off potentially the catalyst here for the minor pause on this bullish candle if it did close weak bullish, and then look for the entry as price broke the low of the M30. What I would suggest is, I mean, you got to target minimum, I would say about 30 to 40 pips should be quite gettable. Minimum. If you're going to have a 70 pip stop loss, I would never let it go to 70 pips in drawdown. Like other streamers, some streamers. So yeah, so based off that, it's going to be tough. It's really going to be tough to trade gold. So far, avoiding the impulse entry has been vindicated. We still got back above that support, we're hanging around it, so no stress, not in the trade, just waiting to see if we begin to reject and pop below. That matter of interest, guys, is anyone invested in cryptos, and if so, what coins other than just Bitcoin and ETH? Any altcoin recommendations? I've not followed crypto for quite some time. Quite keen to maybe get back into it, start once again, maybe start trading it, but don't have the time for that. That I feel moves best during the MI session. But if anyone actually does hold any altcoins or anything, feel free to share. RS, good morning. I guess we all buy Bitcoin now since Trump. Yeah, well, he did come out and endorse it just before the election, so hence why perhaps the pump on Bitcoin as well. So Bitcoin did reach a new all-time high again today. If you play ground, Trump wins. Yep. It was my preference, so 1.1 people watching a stream. Wow, so that's where they are. That's why I've only got 29 on my stream. That makes sense. How can we get more viewers, guys? Sean, all good, mate, all good. And just be careful today on the charts, mate. Be very careful, especially trading gold. Very nasty out there trading gold at the moment, so be really strict with it. Don't want to see you blown a challenge, so obviously just be very careful with it. Free play, BTC can touch. Yeah, I think that's a possibility. RS, what I think will happen to gold? Bullish dollar because Trump and Fed wants a lower rates. Yeah, so that's the thing. It's quite interesting because it's a little bit conflicting. If they do lower the rates, then you think that'd be a good thing for gold. People would probably park their money in gold, but off the back of a Trump victory, he is all about maintaining a strong currency and wants the US dollar to be still the world reserve currency. So based off the back of that, then that would suggest maybe people parking their money in maybe some more risk on assets, or even happy to hold in cash as well. So I think it all depends on bond yields and all that stuff as well, which I'm not too familiar with. But if they can get better value from elsewhere, and risk is on, and I think not necessarily a bad thing for gold, but it may slowly start to fizzle from the upside. Not meaning it's going to make a massive pullback, but it may take it more time to create some more highs. Still believe 3K is around the corner. It could be a little bit of a sell-off before it though, but yeah, I'm off the belief gold is still going to continue up. V-play. Sure, stay away for gold, all good. V-play gold is insane. Yep. Right now I've never seen EU this much negative in a day. Yeah, well, it's all the majors selling off the back of obviously I would say election news. I mean, EU is below parity at some point a couple years back. It dropped briefly below. RS, I think Trump might say bye-bye to PAL. Maybe, but maybe not. He may... Look, the Federal Reserve govern themselves, supposedly. But will not be surprised if maybe something is said in the ear of PAL, what direction to go in, and maybe he abides. Might still have his position. He might not want to, who knows. Alright, so GJ is now back above the support. We're right back in consolidation, so there is no buy option for me right now. Gold. It comes to London Open, guys. Gold is not quite engulfing. It's not back above a previous level here to the left. And I have massive stop losses, that's the issue, and obviously it's not closing weak bullish to look for the sell. Let's just see how the current the London Open candle opens, but be very, very careful with gold today. You really need to be quick with trade management, because this thing could trigger into big drawdown very quickly if you're not. So it's London Open, guys. And everything looks like absolute shit. You've got over a 70 pip stop if you're looking at buy gold, about a 75 pip stop, and the same to the downside. So that's the space of 15. Really nothing there for me. Well, Rigo, I've been in touch with alts on this cycle. Last cycle was all about layer 1 solutions like Matic, yep, Matic and Solana, but not sure if the layer 1 narrative is strong enough. I used to be about that too, till I, again, like I mentioned in the past, sold my soul, pretty much sold my soul, literally. When I sold Solana for nothing, and twice it's done it to me. After I sold it, it's pumped. This time to an all-time, well, both times pumped to an all-time high, and now he's not worth a lie. Sold it both times. I sold it for double what I what do I call it? The average price. What do they call it again? Dollar cost average. So twice I sold it about double that. Not that I really want to. I've learned my lesson. Next time you just sell basically what you put back in and let the rest run. I need to see it twice go to all-time highs, and it's still over 170 bucks I think right now. I sold it for like 30, 33 or something like that, 35. So I'm hurting. I'm really hurting. It hurts me to look at Solana, in all honesty. Yeah, Matic, what is that right now? What's the ticker for it again? Is it just Matic? $0.32. Are you kidding me? Last time I saw this was over $1. Maybe it's no longer the thing. Or is it? Might have to do some homework. Matic could be a very nice option. Thank you for putting that on my radar. I'll have a little look into it. Shrift put up a Trump banner that will bring. That's it. And then we just need to go on Trump stream and someone to pop over to my stream. Might gain a few new subs. They won't have any idea what we're doing, but still. Say it's all about Trump. That's all it's about, and I'll love it. B plays ground. Trump will reduce the loans that have been taken. Wasn't he going to abolish, or hasn't he spoken about abolishing income tax? Not sure how you go about that. Debt to GDP ratio is insane. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? I think they print something like $1 trillion. No, there's $100,000 of debt every second. I think it is they go into. That is just nuts. Right, GJ pushing back up through this consolidation. So again, fortunately for me, there's no valid entry because it could reject anywhere within this level. We could head back down towards the previous candle's low or back down to support anyway. So there is no option for me at the moment. India market's also doing good for play, is it? Okay, time for gold to correct itself. Potentially, I think it'd be very good if it had a nice healthy pullback. Can I search up A.C.T investment stock on Google and see its all-time returns? What is it? A.C.T. Not a porn site, is it? Oh, okay, okay, yeah. Where's that for chart? Where's the ticker for it? Their price history. Wow. So this is Indian rupee, but what's the actual percent return? Yeah, that looks nuts either way. Yeah, don't want to even look at it. Rodrigo, Matic, yeah, well, it definitely is. If it's still in a bit though, it may not be anymore. I'm not sure. No idea. But I know, you know, about a year ago when I was still well into the crypto, Matic was still all the rage. I never even realized it was that low at the moment. Arbitrum was another one, and this is still near its all-time low actually. It's quite interesting. I'm not sure if there's just maybe nothing being built on the network itself and forgotten about the project, the Ghost project, because some of them become that. There was one I remember being really into a while, I'm talking about like 7-8 years ago now, and it just became nothing was built on it. What's on the tip of my tongue? Son. I don't remember the name of it, but it was all the rage, and apparently there was a lot going for it, but everyone just disappeared, all the developers and everyone, and everyone was left holding bags, which does happen. And it is Polygon, yeah. 32 trillion GDP, 34 trillion debt, something like that. That's crazy. Also investment stock, that was it, wasn't it? It's 21% 3 sessions. That's absolutely nuts. It's a year on year. 38. Oh, this is income. $5,439. All right, see you on gold. Bearish engulfing. Once again, we need to work out something about stop loss if it was to eventuate. Nothing on GCAD, nothing on GJ whilst it's in this area of consolidation. Is there a ticker for it here? Here it is. Oh, I'm not going to look at a 15-minute. Yeah, it's very hard to follow it, isn't it? GU's potentially looking okay. Bullish engulfing here, and at least at this point, formed some resistance at the support. You'd be engulfing that resistance. You're at a 4-hour level. Could be time for price to bounce off it, potentially. So it's not just one candle confirmation. Here, you've triggered in some sellers. You'd be wiping those sellers out, closing above it, and that potentially could be an option for a buy for those who do trade GU. Doesn't have liquidity, yeah. The Indian stock market could be something that would be worth investing into. An emerging economy. I think it's going to overtake the US, I was saying, probably by the end of this decade. Possibly could. Obviously, if India being part of the BRICS as well. Now its correct value is 5,439 Aussie dollar. Wow. The only thing with shares, you can't buy partials of a share. I mean, unless you're buying an ETF or something where they split it between a basket of shares. Or an index or whatever. With crypto, you can. You don't have to buy a full Bitcoin, for instance. You can buy whatever you want, 0.001 if you want, or whatever. That's the good thing about cryptos, I suppose. You can have partial shares in a crypto. India did not let. Yep, I heard that too. I think formally applied Turkey, but India aren't wanting anything to do with it. So I can't remember what that was to do with. I did hear it, but I can't remember exactly why. India buying up a lot of the world's reserve of silver from Shanghai Exchange, Shanghai silver and gold. I can't remember what I call it again. But they've been huge in accumulating gold and silver over the past year or so, apparently. So they know what it's about. While Western countries are asleep. Alright, JJ. Maybe there won't be World War III with Trump now back in power. Appears to be someone who's really good with conflict resolution, isn't he? But look, from what I can make out anyway. How much is a RR Phantom price in Australia in USD? Please tell. How much is... I'm not even sure what that is. Rolls-Royce Phantom. No idea, mate. Not interested in that type of thing, to be honest. I'm not a materialistic guy, to be honest, man. If I had the money, I will not spend it on a car like that. No way. Just give me a pickup truck, give me a ute or something. That's what I want, in all honesty. Not interested in sports cars or luxury cars like that. I'd rather just a big F-off car, basically. I only drive big cars here. Got wide shoulders, need a big car. Just kidding, guys, relax. Relax. Charts are shit, we're gonna have a bit of a laugh sometimes. Alright, still nothing on gold. JJ, big pump on this 15-minute candle. Big move. In US you can buy Phantom 700k, but in India it's 2 million because of import duties, 100%. Yeah, it's probably similar here in Oz, to be honest. $2 billion tax, 200 billion tax money. Alright, so the 15 is closed below resistance, so we need to now just wait for a 30. See where we're at. Very plain stats from stats, only 10% of population paid their income tax. Indian taxes are insane. Yeah, it's pretty bad here as well, to be honest. GJ rejecting that level just now. Gold threatening to head up, but again, it's not a solid enough confirmation for me. Let's look on a 5-minute. What have we got? Pure shit on the 5 minutes, just consolidating. Education free in Australia, not entirely free. But I suppose the education is quite good here in most government schools and that. It is entirely paid. Yeah, I mean, you got to pay, but I mean, you get, some people get certain benefits in that if they are low income. And I mean, my son's studying overseas and his school is anything but free. It is bloody expensive. He goes to an international school, so actually fairly priced though, to be honest, but it's still not cheap, put it this way. Jellyfish education didn't play any role today. To be honest, they teach kids the wrong things. Most of what they learn is just irrelevant, completely irrelevant. The one thing they don't teach students about, and I wish they taught me about too back in the day, was personal finances and things like that. How to respect money, how to make money, and how to make it work for you, things like that. They do not teach kids at all about that. All they do is teach them how to, you know, be another individual, another number in this big world, and that's it. Not to get ahead, just to be another, you know, wolf in the pack. That's pretty much how it is, in my opinion. So I'm a contrarian, and I'm trying to teach my boy a little bit about not having to follow everyone, because I think it's absolute crap. I think the educational system in most part is just bullshit. It needs a massive revamp. That's just my personal opinion, whether the people like it or not. It's just my opinion, so I couldn't really care less if you didn't like it, but it's just facts. It's just facts. Well, they teach kids these days. When I was looking at my son's homework half the time, I'm like, why is that? I need to know that shit. Gold pumping. Yeah, sorry guys, there's really no confirmation for me to take a gold trade. I even got to the point where I said to my son, I know your mum makes you study hard and you're doing a lot of homework, but don't stress it because I will teach you other things. Don't even worry about it. School isn't everything. B-play, getting into good colleges is insane. In India, there is an exam called G2 million students give it, only 2,000 get selected. Oh, really? Yeah, that sucks. Marvy, facts. Thank you. B-play, students give their 16 to 18 age to just studying. Yeah, I mean, in Thailand, my boy's 9 and all he does is study. I feel so sorry for him. Crazy. To the point where I've, you know, me and his mum were not together, but we've had many arguments over it. They're just too much. I believe it's way too much. Yeah, again, guys, I don't have any confirmation by gold right now. I just need to wait. It could be options to sell it. Again, gold's gonna be tricky today, so likely waiting on GJ. V play true. Beats not taking a trade, so you get no. Yeah, it's a bit tough, isn't it? It is very tough today. Jellyfish, 100% true. Yeah, I agree, mate. It's what you said as well. Education just it's rubbish. V play. I assume they're very similar to Thai parents. Well, I don't teach my son trade investing. I will be teaching him about it. Don't you worry. He was a few times when I was most recently there. Quite interested to see what I was doing. I won't explain a few little things to him, but I also explained to him what I invest in and why, and how I'm keeping it for him. And I want to play a little game with him because everything he invests, I tend to double up on, just to make it more, you know, fun for him. So. And he keeps his money. He doesn't like to spend his money on toy. He doesn't buy toys or anything like that. He's all about making money. That kid, he's a smart little hacker. Jellyfish emotional management. Yeah, it's another thing as well. It's nothing. I mean, they don't teach any of that stuff, especially in the world of investing. That's really important. You know, even before gold and silver were dumping, we were seeing a lot of people thinking, oh, maybe I should sell out my positions. And now look at it's back at where it started, basically. V-play, what's his age? My son, he's 9. He's still only young, so doesn't quite understand it just yet. Get him to fool around on the simulator, see how he goes. Probably a more chance of working it out properly than I do, to be honest. How about GU? GU still looks the best as per the other day. He's got he's got time to learn these things. Yes, he most definitely does. Most definitely does. People play Indian parents are very, very strict. They torture their child through their childhood, but it helps to fight the struggles in life pretty hard and rough. Yeah, it's a little bit similar in Thailand. I mean, don't torture him as in physically, but very strict with my boy. He's got a lot of respect though. Yeah, that's pretty insane. Yeah, I've seen it happen over there, but again, my son, never done that. But I tell you one thing, I'm assuming the kids there, and I know the kids in Thailand have a lot more respect than kids the same age do here. That's 100%. All right, tough work today. Need to close our bubble. We need to see what we can do about stop loss, because again, I'm not happy rolling with off the 30. You're looking at has to close above. You're looking at over 50 pips likely. After 15, you're looking at over 40. So the message got deleted. May have. I'm not sure. I didn't see it. I don't see any deleted message. Oh, okay. Yeah, once again, I've seen Thai parents do it, but that's not something we've done to our child. His mum has got a voice which could wake the living dead, put it this way, so that in itself scares the living daylights out of him. But for me, I can't even raise my voice at him. He's just, yeah, he's a good boy. Let's see, just under 2.5 minutes. Let's see what we can do. So any entry, likely what we're going to need to do is use the entry candles low as a potential stop loss. We want to close above. We really like for it to close above. Educational pressure is less in Australia. Yeah, it's a lot less in Australia. Most parents, a lot of parents don't even give a shit as long as the kids aren't in their hair at home or whatever. Then they're happy. All right, so what we want to look for is crack the high of the current candle on JJ first of all. Whatever that is on your broker chart. Your stop loss will have to be the entry candle's low, as long as it's a decent low wick. So what I mean by that is I really like for it to tap into the low of this zone, because if that was to be the case, that would suggest that perhaps we're pulled back into this range, only to grab some liquidity. If we broke the high of the catalyst candle, there'd be a high probability at that point there we would make the move up towards, we could make the move back up towards the resistance 198.830. So that is what I'd like to see just now. This candle close above, and then look for a decent low wick on a new candle, and then we could have potential options. And it's going to be very, very difficult to manage it, so maybe go a small lot size. Because if your stop loss is based off the entry candle, there is basically no way to manage it, in all honesty. People, my best friend once came to my home crying because his parents beat the out of him, stayed with him 3 days. We enjoyed a lot. Yeah, wow. Yeah, my ex used to say she copped the same from my son's grandparents, so from her parents, but It's not something we do to our side. All right. I was a little bit higher up. All right. Wanted to pop up, break the high, pull back. So we have not closed above the resistance. So let's wait. Wanted to break the high. It's not doing that. It's really going to be tricky today, guys. Oh, you got about 11 pip stop. You want to look for an impulse entry. I'm not liking what I'm seeing, in all honesty. People many children leave their homes because parents beat them. Increase the need a lot. Yeah, it's not great. When I will have a child, I just want him to be physically fit and pass exams. Yeah, I think there's other ways of teaching a child rather than being living daylights out of them. Great one. Done. Done. I wish I knew what you were talking about, jellyfish. I'd say I do, to be honest. This is shit. This is a really tough day. Because education kind of important. They've based everything on, well, it's good for the child to go through it, but again, I think it's, I mean, it's too much. It doesn't count for enough education. What they teach you, in my opinion, is just shit. And if you don't get top results, then they say you're gonna struggle. Bullshit. What you do away from your education. If financially, you know, literate, you could still go a long way without being a genius. Norwegian Child Security Service. No one wants to. Oh, really? I mean, here in Oz, you're not allowed to obviously physically harm your child. But here in Oz, I mean, you could kill someone and be out of jail in a few years' time. Laws here are just ridiculous. You can defend yourself if someone breaks into your home. They can get injured and you're the one who gets in trouble. Go figure. Someone broke into my house. I've got this metal pole in my wardrobe and I would not be afraid to use it. Would not be afraid to use it. Don't give a shit. Consequences. If it's my life or their life, I'd rather sit in jail. There is no justice. Australia's crap. Australia's bullshit when it comes to that stuff. Half the people we let into the country have no idea of their background. We've had issues with certain ethnic group of late and have been starting some gang wars as people got killed, and I think it's just an absolute joke. If it was I was in charge, I would send them all. I would say, here's your boat, here's your paddle. There you go. You had your chance. Obviously, you don't respect it, so off you go. No questions asked. That's what I'd be doing. All right, GJ. Forget it, guys. This is. I'm not gonna get a trade. I'm probably gonna get going in a minute. This is just Everything is difficult right now. Barman, no, you're not allowed to in Australia. No, I definitely don't own a gun. You play Canada and India unless you study business without education, will not even get food 2 times a day, working day job like bartender, not be able to survive. Yeah, so that's not good. Jellyfish, you expose yourself breaking off home to another risk if extent of inconvenience reached intolerable in your home. You choose another option, considering all before the info how to survive on the street. Fair enough. Australia face some same problems UK in immigration, Batman. Yeah, probably. I mean, you walk through parts of Melbourne and you will not for 1 minute think you're in Australia. I am not joking, and that is fine. But if you hear assimilate, don't be a prick. If you stuff up, I'd send them packing. Personally, I'm all for people coming the right way because they're generally really nice people and come for a purpose. But for those who get in for free, when I'm trying to bring someone here myself and they make it so difficult, I have no remorse for them. If they get in trouble, I would just kick them out instantly. GJ's off. Sorry guys, didn't quite trust it, but yeah, it would have been a 10 pip stop, I think, so not quite enough to trust. But anyway, it's made the move, so that's done. But you play the lovely people in Melbourne. I think we've got per capita, I think maybe the biggest population outside. There isn't many in Melbourne, and they're fine because most of them are very friendly people. Assuming some people don't respect other people's culture. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I respect all, but I just don't agree if people get in and then stuff up and they keep getting more and more chances. And they get given money, they get given everything, housing, everything. And there's people, Aussies on the street. I drive past nearly every single freaking day, someone on like lying there with a blanket on the footpath somewhere near my business warehouse. There's always people on the street there. Not too far from a shopping strip in my area, there's generally a few, and the government don't do a thing to help those people. They've just got it all the wrong way around completely. Yeah, so that option's missed, guys. So the only thing to really look for right now is potential sells if it did reject, but likely not going to happen. Play, great chatting to you. A pleasure. Hope to see you back on the stream tomorrow. Yeah, appreciate the support. So you have a good one. That being said, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up too. I'm not going to get anything. That was the move. Government going after popularity, human rights votes. Batman, exactly. No, I agree with that too. Human rights, all that crap. I mean, don't get me started. Maybe we'll have another live stream away from the charts one day on a weekend and just talk, you know, different topics about, you know, what's going on around the world. But yeah, so that's it, guys. So for me right now, I'd be waiting to see if it does pop back down and potentially back into this range below for that is ugly, but you get the picture for potential sells. Maybe if this 15 close bullish followed by bearish engulfing, closing back below the resistance, we've made that clean move up. Good chance to make a clean move down. Otherwise, let's see how it reacts to that resistance. Again, that's an ugly picture, but you guys get the drift. If it does reject, look for the sells, buys above. That's GJ. Still interested in selling below 197.90. And gold, I don't think it's worth it today. I really don't think it's worth it. Almost got to the goal 40 likes. I appreciate it, guys. Again, sorry today, difficult to look for trades. That was the best of the bunch, but obviously it's didn't trust it with a small stop loss. GU was pretty good too. I did mention it. Engulfing candle, and then there could be options to buy it. Now he's making a move. So anyone who was listening and trading GU, you'd be well in profits right now. Yeah, so nice one. Give a like for leaving, that'd be great. Buttman, Marby, appreciate it. Everyone else, thank you for joining. If you are interested in any of their services, make sure to just check out all the links below, and make sure to join the free Discord group, guys. I will be giving away a VIP to the person who is the most active in that chat on the 20th of November. Members, anyone in the chat right now, I'll be on a call with you guys later, so we'll see what happens, what we can come up with. Guys, take care, have a good one. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Take care, cheers, bye.